Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all of you. So before we start, I just want to request our distinguished dignitaries and speakers to take their seats on the stage. First of all, I would like to request Dr. Mehtab Kareem, President PAP. Sir, please come and join us. Dr. Fareed Middat, Vice President, Population Association of Pakistan. I would request Honorable Dr. Loy Shabane, please come and join us on the stage, please. Dr. Nadeem Javed, Vice Chancellor, Pakistan Institute of Development Economics. And now I would request our chief guest, Ms. Samina Hassan, to please come and join us on the stage. Distinguished guests, colleagues, partners, and friends. I am Dr. Saima Bashir, and I have the honor of serving as the Secretary General of Population Association of Pakistan. It is my privilege to welcome you all to the 26th Annual Population Research Conference, convened by the Population Association of Pakistan in collaboration with School of Social Sciences and Humanities at NUST. Over the next 2 days, we will hold conversations that Pakistan urgently needs. Conversation about people, policy, and purpose, and about how a nation of our size can secure dignity, opportunity, and resilience for every child, woman, and man. The theme of this year's conference, Building a Prosperous Future Through Population Management and Reform, from crisis to course correction, is not symbolic, but a serious practical call to action. Our demographic trajectory is already shaping everything from education and health to jobs, cities, and climate resilience. The choices we make now and the policies we adopt in the coming decade will determine whether that trajectory becomes a force for national renewal or an added constraint or progress. This conference has been designed to move beyond heat and fragmented discourse, to synthesize evidence, to identify pragmatic solutions, and to place population at the center of development planning in a way that is right-based, people-centered, and politically realistic. I would like to begin by expressing our deep gratitude to UNFPA for its continued partnership and generous support for this conference. Their technical leadership and funding have been critical in shaping today's agenda and enabling wider participation from across the country. We are grateful for that partnership. As Secretary General of PAP, I feel the weight of responsibility we share to ensure that research discussed here reaches the policy tables that matter, and that the voices of young people, women, and marginalized communities are central to every recommendation we make. Over the last 26 years, PAP has stood as an independent forum for scholarship and debate in Pakistan. It has nurtured evidence-based dialogue and sustained partnerships across universities, government, and development partners. That history is a source of pride and an obligation to act with courage now. Before we proceed, we will start with the recitation of the Holy Quran.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر.
I would request everyone to rise for the national anthem of Pakistan.
قوة
the proceeding, I would now like to invite Dr. Faisal Abbas to deliver the welcome remarks. Dr. Faisal Abbas is Professor and Head Department of Economics, as well as Director Center of Excellence on Population and Wellbeing Studies at School of Social Sciences and Humanities, National University of Social Science and Technology. Dr. Abbas is advisor and guideline development group member for WHO Geneva and expert member of International Science Council, Paris, France. He is also a research fellow of Partnership for Economic Policy, Global Labour Organization, member National Strategic Interest Group on Public Health and Evaluation Reference Group, member of UNICEF. In the year 2015-16, Dr. Abbas was visiting assistant professor at Charles A. Dyson School of Applied Economics and Management, Cornell University, USA. Faisal Abbas was an experienced researcher at the Center for Poverty, Equity and Growth, George August University, Germany, where he was teaching gender and development and poverty measurement as well as supervising graduate students' research. Dr. Faisal has so many feathers in his hat, so it's a long list, so I would request Dr. Faisal Abbas for his welcome remarks, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much, Dr. Saima, for generous introduction. Thank you very much, first of all, Population Association of Pakistan to give us this opportunity at School of Social Sciences and Humanities to have this wonderful conference on their 26th year of conference. So 26th conference is going to be here at the School of Social Sciences and Humanities at NUST. We also welcome President of PAP, country rep of UNFPA, Dr. Louis Shabane, our very esteemed academic colleague and Vice Chancellor of Pakistan Institute of Development Economics, Dr. Nadeem, Dr. Fareed Midat, and other members of PAP community, who is not only community of academics but practitioners also, faculty and students. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you very much for joining us for this morning. I think we need to understand at least three things when we talk about population in Pakistan in particular and population in general. First thing is that global challenges that various regions and countries are facing are basically making headway, and they are in one or the other way impacting population of every age in a very, very peculiar manner. So that's one thing that we have to keep in mind when we try to talk about population growth and its trajectories, not only in Pakistan but outside Pakistan also. And that's one of the most important thing that we have to keep in mind. And one of that factor is basically migration, which is not only a challenge that we face in Pakistan, within Pakistan, but globally as well. And that's where we really need to think how migration is shaping the global debate, because in Europe and North America, the most important political debate that we have at the moment is basically how political parties see migration as a political challenge. And migration is very closely linked to how population is growing up within particular region or country. Second, that is also relevant to us and to the global community as well, is basically urbanization, which is a trend that is forcing us to see things in a different manner. Urbanization is one such thing, because government of Pakistan is claiming around 36-37% of the population in urban settlements. Recent study of World Bank says that almost 88% population in Pakistan having urban character. So maybe it's not the case that people are coming to urban areas, but the case is that urban growth is going to their doorstep. So that's where we need to understand the definitions of what is rural, what is urban, what is to be called as urban. So this is second thing that is very important. Third, which is also global in nature but having very severe consequences at individual, household, community and national level for us as well, is basically climate change, which is also one of the most important element of looking at when we think about population growth, population trajectory, how climate is impacting or affecting us, and what kind of resilience and adaptation strategies that we as a community or nation following, or can follow and have our public policy and impact on that. So these are the three very, very interesting phenomena that's also relevant to Pakistan, but at regional and global level. So these are the things that we also see for our future as well. And that's what the title tells us of the conference, that it's basically prosperous future through population management and reform. So reforms that impact population either directly or indirectly will make a long headway for our future to be determined in a way that we want to see for us as well. Because when we talk about population, we talk about ourselves. Fourth thing that's also very relevant to us in particular, but in generally it's also relevant to global community, is basically the youth population that we are having. Between 15 to 30 years, around 30 or 31% Pakistan's population belongs to this category, which is youth category. So they're looking for education, they're looking for health, they're looking for labor markets, they're looking for opportunities and access to various entertainment things. And they also aspire to have hold the flag of the future of the country, not only for themselves, but for the nation as a whole. So youth is also one of the most important element where we need to have focus on, and that's where we can build our future as well. So with that, I thank you very much for your presence here, and I thank you our partners UNFPA, who is supporting the conference, Population Council, who is also supporting the conference, and welcome you all to this very wonderful two-day conference organized by PAP and S3H. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Faisal, for your warm welcome remarks. And now, as Dr. Loy Shabane has to leave for another meeting, so I would request Dr. Loy Shabane to for his remarks. I now invite our guest of honor, Dr. Loy Shabane, Country Representative, UNFPA Pakistan, for his insightful remarks. Dr. Loy Shabane has served in senior UNFPA roles for many years and brings deep expertise in population, reproductive health, and program leadership. His perspective will help frame how Pakistan's goals align with global communities and the Sustainable Development Goals. Let us now warmly welcome Dr. Loy Shabane to the podium.
Assalamu alaikum. Let me start by saying that it's always privileged to be in a university. This is where the future of the nation should be shaped out. So thanks NUST for hosting this conference, and thanks PAP for your good work. And we really hope that this collaboration could lead to answer the key questions that the population agenda is facing in Pakistan. Looking at the conference title, it's a bit provoking. And I'm here speaking as a professional, not as only a representative for UNFPA. So we need to reach a prosperous future through management of population and reforming. And this takes me to one of the issues that we face here in Pakistan. And maybe the big title is disconnect. Disconnect. Pakistan internal circumstances when it comes to population agenda is disconnected from the global changes. Priorities are going in different direction. While still Pakistan is struggling on rapid population growth, high fertility, and all that stuff. The latest social summit was discussing the low fertility, the population decline, the second dividend, and all these issues. Therefore, the country is struggling to keep its own priorities in the global avenues. This is very important struggle to be able to access to knowledge and also to resources. The second disconnect which I see is in the narrative. we are, the way how I see the population agenda in the country, as if we are a tribe, and this tribe is coming together, running together, and then we reach a crossing point where there are too many roads, and each group of us has moved in specific direction. If you hear the narrative that's coming from different officials, from different researchers, from the economists, from the urban scientists, from demographers, we cannot say that there is a unified narrative when it comes to population agenda in Pakistan. On one hand, we say human rights-based agenda, population, people-centered agenda. On the other hand, somebody come and say 2 is enough. Saima, where is my friend Saima? Saima just said in a country that is oversized in population, as if somebody is wearing his father's jacket. Are we really oversized? We are not the biggest country in the world. So I think the narrative in this conference, I hope it will address what Pakistanis want in terms of the narrative. Is the problem that we are big? Is this the core problem? In my opinion, no. But many of us believe that the problem is that we are too much. And birth rate is very high, and fertility rate is high. So the narrative needs to be looked at. And there is the second disconnect. There is total disconnect between federal and provincial. Every province is going in different direction. And this applies, this is my friend from PBS, this applies to the data system, it applies to population agenda, it applies in too many other areas. The devolution in 2018 was done moving the center of gravity from Islamabad to the other capitals, but did not complete the process to where the needs are at the district and lower geographic challenge. And this is the other disconnect. So this is another disconnect that needs to be looked at. And it is very important if this conference can discuss why the upstream initiatives do not reach the working level. There are too many initiatives. The educational emergency, population framework, strategy. But when it comes to the implementation on the ground, momentum starts very high at the initial stage. And as we go down, momentum go lower and lower and lower. And sometimes it does not reach the working level, and definitely does not reach the people. And this is one of the governance issues on population agenda that, in my opinion, needs to be tackled very well. And the final disconnect, which I feel is important to be looked at, is that population is not demography. Population agenda is not a demographic agenda. So we need to look at it from a wider perspective. It's not the issue how to manage fertility. Fertility will never be managed. And if you decide to do management for fertility and suppress people to have less kids, this will distort the population structure, and we will get you in a more dangerous and more severe problems like the problems that is faced by China today. Therefore, in my opinion, it is very important that this conference and similar conferences try to go deeper in the root causes and understand where are the opportunities rather than counting the challenges. Every time we count the challenges, we say we are too high, there is rapid population, there is high fertility, there is lack of education, there is lack of employment, there is lack of investment in the human capital. But where are the opportunities that we can tap on? This is, in my opinion, the most important. And how we can ensure that the country is moving in one direction. Now, today, we are still, Dr. Ahsan, I suppose at a certain point, he was supposed to be here. He has a vision for population through the 5 E's. But the population strategy is under Ministry of Health. And they have different direction of understanding. So where are we moving in this? I think here, this conference, since it looks at the scientific part and the research part, I think it is very important that you try to answer these key questions, because this is the only avenue where we can have too many brains come together, think together, and try to find a solution for the challenges that's facing the country. Thank you very much for partnership. I wish you the best luck.
Thank you, Dr. Loy, for your very insightful remarks. Before I invite Dr. Mehtab Karim for his remarks, I would like to take a moment to extend my heartfelt appreciation to Population Council. I realize I didn't mention them in my opening remarks, but their partnership has been truly essential, and we are deeply thankful. Over the past 26 years, Population Council was our a generous partner for PAP, and PAP could not exist if Population Council is not there. So thank you so much, Dr. Zeba and the whole Population Council team. Now, I would like to invite Professor Mehtab Karim, President, Population Association of Pakistan, to share the opening remarks. Professor Mehtab Karim is a distinguished social demographer and a founding voice of our association, a scholar with decades of research and leadership across Aga Khan University international centers, and now as President of Population Association of Pakistan. Dr. Mehtab Karim.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sama. I'd like to say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and thank you very much for NUST for hosting this conference. Mrs. Samina Hassan, Director General NIPS, Dr. Louis Shabane, Country Representative UNFPA, Dr. Nadeem Javed, Vice Chancellor PIDE, Dr. Faisal, Director PRC, NUST, Dr. Farid Mitat, Vice President PAP. Distinguished guests, and particularly our students, for being here to listen to some of the very important issues which Pakistan is facing because of ever-growing population of Pakistan. So we know that Pakistan's population is growing very fast. And I don't have to tell you all the numbers, but just to tell you the most recent number, which was 241 million in 2023, grew from 33 million in 1951, and in just 2 years since 2023, we have grown another 12 million. So that's more than the number of many, many countries around the world. Twice the number of New Zealand, I believe. So that's where we are at. And things don't look any good. But before I talk about that, let me dwell upon the establishment of PAP. It was about 25 years ago in October 2000 when I was at Aga Khan, and thanks to our old friend, Mr. Peter Miller, who was the country director for Population Council, I came back after spending, 5-6 years abroad. And I saw that all the countries here and there, because I was working on some international project, used to travel quite a bit, that they used to have conferences on population. I attended many, and Peter Miller used to be there in many of them. So I came to him and I said, why not we have a conference on population in the 21st century? And he instantly agreed, and not only agreed, also provided fund for the conference, and we had our first conference at Aga Khan University. In the meantime, he also set up a task force to establish a population association of Pakistan. And we have several founding members who are here, and Dr. Zeba is one of them, Dr. Nausheen, and Dr. Iqbal Alam, Dr. Nizam, who couldn't be here, he's down with flu in Lahore, and Dr. Jilani, who was then Director General of NIPS. And we had a lot of deliberations what to do, and of all the persons, a young lady by the name of Simi Ashfaq was there, who did all the dirty work. And so we eventually launched the Population Association of Pakistan at Aga Khan University. I'm very proud of it that I was part of that university then. Still I am. And so we came up with this Population Association of Pakistan. The first conference, which was organized in October 2000, Pakistan's Population Perspective in the 21st Century, there are about more than 80 abstracts were submitted. We were surprised that so many people are interested in population issues. And we had about 38 papers presented there on various issues related to population, fertility, migration, urbanization, reproductive health, family planning. One can go on, and there's so many papers presented. And not only then, but every year we have had a conference. And this one is 26th conference. So we have come a long way, which makes me very happy, and all of us who are the founding members of PAP, that we have crossed a milestone of 25 years of doing conferences. But I'm at the same time very sad. At the twilight of my career, I've seen that Pakistan's population has grown and grown and grown. And if I recall it, in 1985, when I started working at Aga Khan University after I finished my graduate studies in the US, Pakistan's population was 85 million. And so it has grown since then 3 times, I don't know. It's very difficult to count. Even the census people have difficulty counting how many people we have. And so they delay the censuses. But since year 2000, Pakistan has added about close to 100 million people in its population. And other countries, whether it is in South Asia or whether Muslim countries, we ever talk about Pakistan is a Muslim country, the second largest Muslim country, and it's going to be the largest Muslim country in the next 25 years, by the way, exceeding the population of Indonesia. Look at those numbers. Sorry to share with you these slides, but as I said, we cannot live without these slides. Every country on our left and our right, from Bhutan and India and Nepal and Sri Lanka and Bangladesh and Maldives and Indonesia and Malaysia and Iran and Saudi Arabia and Turkey and Egypt and Morocco, and I don't have any more space left there to add more. They have all come to a total fertility rate, which is an average number of children a woman can have or does have over her reproductive lifespan. They're even less than 2, some of them. And if you multiply that by 10, what it means in Pakistani woman, on average, will have 10 women will have 35 children, and in Iran, she will have only 17 children. So we have twice more than Iran, more than twice in Turkey, almost twice than Egypt, and 40% more than Bangladesh. So where are we going? We are going nowhere. I shouldn't say nowhere. We are really going somewhere where we are going to hit the ceiling. Just look at where we are. where we were in 1971, about 8 million more people in Bangladesh and Pakistan. In 2025, we have like 65 million more, and then there would be many more. I don't know, it's difficult to convey to others. Numbers are very, very, at times, misleading, but that's where the most recent projection, which we have come out, a group of 5 demographers was sitting here, under the leadership of Dr. G.M. Arif, and I also was part of it, Dr. Tawsif, Dr. Durre Nayab, and Dr. Saima. We have worked for NIPS, and it's unofficial, but sorry, but I had to share this number because UN has higher number, by the way, but this is our own number, and that is if our population growth rate comes down. If it doesn't come down, then we would be about 390 million by 2050, another 25 years. Just imagine that we are going to add about 140, 150 million people in next 25 years. So this is going to be, it's a crisis situation. Please, okay, buddy. And I'll just give you an example of Bangladesh because that was part of Pakistan only about 50 years ago. If you look at the contraceptive use rate among married women in the reproductive ages, it was very similar in 1975, and in 1980, unfortunately, it declined because during the martial law regime of 1970s, family planning was also got a seat on the back burner. As a matter of it was hot seat, so our contraceptive use rate declined. In 1990, it reached 12%, and so it has not gone much up. Very slow increase, and consequently, our fertility rate, again, the number of children born per woman, was higher in Bangladesh than Pakistan, and it is 2.1, which we call replacement level. Each couple is producing only 2 children in Bangladesh, and here we are producing close to 5. If you round it off, it will be close to 4. So this is the situation. I think this is a crisis situation because if we compare ourselves with our former brethren, former East Pakistan, when I was growing up, when I was a student, we always used to talk about that East Pakistan has 55% of the population and West Pakistan has 45%. Now the situation is reversed, and the repercussions are everywhere in the population, in the education sector, much worse in the GDP per capita. We had almost twice than Bangladesh. Now we have about $1,600. They have $2,700 GDP per capita. Infant mortality rate, just look at where we were. Pakistan had a lower infant mortality rate. Now it is less than 50, more than twice that of Bangladesh. Life expectancy at birth has increased substantially in Bangladesh, and the ranking in the world. One often reads in the newspapers that our passport is one of the lowest ranked in the world. But nobody talks about, I have never seen that in the newspapers, that our ranking in the Human Development Index has gone down from 120 to 168. We are in the same cohort or same group as sub-Saharan African poorest countries now, and Bangladesh has improved. Now, what lies future? What is there? Just look at the age sex pyramid. We still have the broad-based number of population, 65% or so in the age group below age 30, okay? And so what it means, there's a lot of potentials to growth. When you have too many young people, of course they get married and they have children, so population keeps on growing, and that's why we are going to grow very fast. And just again, another example of Bangladesh, it had the same broad-based pyramid in 1985, and then it has narrowed down, so there are fewer and fewer younger people there who can reproduce. There are many, many other issues. One can keep on talking. I don't want to take too much time going into these slides, okay? So, but let me quickly go through some of the other issues. The other issue is that why we have been left behind. It's not because I have been working for a private sector for all my life. I see that the issue is that successive governments, since 1970, they have never been interested in addressing this major issue. You look at all the policy, we are very good in making policies, but we are extremely bad in implementing them. In many areas, I don't want to go into other areas, but in this area of population, we don't have any consistent policy. We keep on changing. We changed it to devolve it to the provinces. We are talking about bringing it back to the federal government. Very good idea, but implementation is the problem. Whether it's a province, I was shocked just last week. The report of the mixed multiple indicator cluster survey in Punjab was released. More than 50% of the population lives in Punjab. The contraceptive prevalence rate is still 35%, which was there in 2017-18. So no improvement, nothing has changed. Okay. So that is the problem. Okay. Now, is there any solution? Of course, if there's a problem, there's always a solution. One can talk about it. I have, tried to write something. This Pakistan's population brief. If you get a chance, please read it. I think it's been distributed. But I would like to conclude from there about our policy, that what is needed. We have insufficient resources allocated to social sector. Health, education, and family planning, they're all related. Poor community engagement, we know about that. And failure to address urgent reproductive health needs. Absence of outreach services, particularly delivery of contraceptives at the doorsteps of the clients. Low male involvement in the program. Inadequate support from political and religious leaders, unlike in Indonesia, Bangladesh, Egypt, many other countries. And then inadequate lack of involvement of other government departments. They think that population is a problem of population program, a population ministry or whatever. No, it's devolved. So there's very little integration. And absence of public-private partnership and delivery of family planning services and methods. Without reforms, such as removing bureaucratic obstacles, which is still there. I had the opportunity to review the program on behalf of the UN, and I see that is still there. And so, we are not going to move anywhere unless until reforms have taken place. To meet the challenges being faced due to high population growth rate, policy-oriented research is needed, and that's what PAP has been trying to do, but nobody listens. Nobody reads those papers, unfortunately, especially the policymakers, because there are many problems the country is facing, and they are due to the population. Now, in the conclusion, I'd like to talk about something which is very close to my heart, and I'd like to take the advantage of our worthy keynote speaker, the Vice Chancellor of PIDE. I know that young man, much younger than I am, for sure. who has a wide experience both in the planning and as an academic. And the thing which is close to my heart is that something needs to be done about the manpower development of the population experts in the country. They are shrinking. As I said, I'm in the at the end of my career, and maybe we call it migration. So I never know that if I'm going to stay for another decade or even half a decade in this world. And other colleagues of mine, former colleagues of mine, they are all in 70s or later. Only we have one young demographer, fortunately, who is sitting in front of us, in front of me, is Dr. Saima Bashir, who is really, I have a lot of hope that young people, and we have a lot of young people, but we don't have, only 10% of our college and university going population is attending universities and colleges, by the way. 90% don't make it to beyond secondary. And I hope that young people sitting here, they will pursue this career. Now, where to pursue this career? No university in Pakistan has a program in population studies or what we call demography. PIDE has been a leader in producing or accommodating demographers. Some major demographers, well-known demographers from Pakistan, they worked at PIDE either before PhD or after PhD. Dr. S.S. Hashmi, Dr. Jilani, Dr. Razak Rukunuddin, Dr. Iqbal Alam, they are unfortunately, and Dr. Farhat Yusuf, unfortunately, they are no more with us. And some of younger ones or middle younger ones, Dr. Zeba Sattar is still there. Dr. Nausheen, she was also there. I'm forgetting myself, I was also there. And we had started our career there. And PIDE was very at the forefront in demographic studies. So I hope that the Vice Chancellor would look into that possibility, that at least starts a master's program. I have a discussion with the executive director, new executive director of Higher Education Commission, and said he will be very happy to support that in whatever way we have to come up with. And that's on the top agenda of PIAP's executive committee. So I have been also in touch with at least 2 universities in Karachi. They are interested in starting a program in population and reproductive health. So at least we have some hope. The reason I say that without the proper manpower in population and demographic studies, who is going to produce policy papers? Of course, we have a lot of people who work in the field of public health. They are doing some work, but they need to be properly trained. And so I hope that PIDE takes initiative, and so does at least Aga Khan University and another university, public sector in Karachi. They are interested. And I'm sure that FC College and other in Punjab University and others would also come forward. And so that our population of our population experts doesn't shrink anymore, and the population doesn't grow anymore. With that, thank you very much for listening to me. I have a lot of hopes that we are going to do something in the next decade. If our government is interested in doing something, I think the UDAN program of the, as Dr. Louis Shabane mentioned, does talk about population as a major issue in the country. And I'm sure that Dr. Nadeem will take it also forward to the higher-ups, that this something is a very, very important issue. I would also like to thank the executive director of NIFT for being here. NIPS used to have a lot of demographers. Dr. Hakim is sitting here. Dr. Razak Nukunuddin was there, but they don't have any trained demographer anymore there. And so they would also need people. Universities in the different, they are teaching public health, masters in public health, where it's two required courses, one in, it's by HEC, one in demographic analysis and the other one in global demography, which I teach at Aga Khan and another university at Zabist. But it's not, I don't know who is teaching here in Islamabad, but there are potentials to do some things here. So that, with that, thank you very much again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mehtab Kareem, for your thought-provoking opening remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Nadeem Javed, Vice Chancellor of Pakistan Institute of Development Economics and member of the Planning Commission of Pakistan. Dr. Javed is a distinguished economist with over 25 years of experience in national economic planning, institutional reform, and research leadership. He has previously served as Pakistan's chief economist, where he advised the country's highest decision-making bodies on development strategy. He led the National Post-Flood Recovery Framework in 2022, which helped mobilize over $10 billion in international support and is the lead author of the 5 E's framework for economic resilience and growth. Dr. Javed has contributed to major policy frameworks including Pakistan Vision 2025 and the CPAC long-term plan. He is also a recipient of the Sitara Imtiaz for his services to public policy. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Muhammad Nadeem Javed. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Saima, for a very warm introduction. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, development partners, students, and fellow citizens, Assalamu alaikum, and very good morning. So it's an honor to address this important gathering. For more than a quarter of a century, the Population Association of Pakistan has led the national dialogue on how our demographic realities shape the destiny of this country. And today, the urgency of this room is unmistakable. The theme from crisis to course correction is not a slogan, it is a diagnosis and it is a call to action. And let me highlight that, as Dr. Mehtab very candidly highlighted, that this forum and this conference did a great job in the past, but perhaps the policy side people are not listening, then let me correct it, that if this would not have happened during the last 25 years and that you guys wouldn't have contributed in this regard, then perhaps the population growth rate of Pakistan would have been 3%. So it's thanks to this activity and this time to time knocking at the right forums that we should be cognizant and careful on this aspect. So as we all know that Pakistan in 2026 is entering with a 255 million people, growing at the rate of 2.55%, one of the highest rates in region. At this pace, our population grows by around 6.6 million every year. And that means that we are adding one New Zealand to Pakistan every year. To understand what does that mean in real terms is that every single day nearly 18,000 new Pakistanis enter the world. That is 750 per hour and 13 every minute. It means that every hour we need a new primary school, and perhaps the government and neither any provincial government can afford this kind of investment. That's a serious challenge. So our future is not approaching slowly. It is arriving every minute faster than our systems are prepared to serve it. So, yet at the very same moment, 40% of our children are stunted, 26 million are out of school, 3.5 million young people seek jobs every year. So these are deeply interconnected pressures shaping what Pakistan will look like in the coming decades. And while we were conducting this exercise for Udan Pakistan, and that how Pakistan will look like in 2035 and 2047, so then in that different scenarios, it was a primary imperative to have the population growth around 1.7% to grow if we want to achieve the upper middle income status by 2047. And for in near future, since it's very difficult to contain this growth, so then we have this scenario of 2.4% for the next 4 to 5 years by 2029. If we want to be a $1 trillion economy, so then apart from doing many other things, two imperatives are to increase the exports by around $65 billion and to control the population growth by 2.4%. So with these imperatives and then the kind of stunting and other aspects I have highlighted, then the future job market will not be the market over where these traditional jobs and the manual jobs will be absorbing the workforce. Keeping in view the AI and Industrial Revolution IO4, the way they are impacting the job market and industrial landscape, we would be in need of highly intelligent and with a great intellect. The workforce can't be the one which is stunted and having compromised cognitive abilities. So with these challenges, demographic projections also show that the population could cross 386 million by 2050 if we are not going to contain the population growth rate to a desirable level. So almost 64% of the Pakistanis are under 30 years of age. This should be our advantage, our demographic dividend, but only if that youth is healthy, educated, and productively engaged. A young population that is undernourished, undereducated, and unemployed does not generate the growth, it generates instability. And because our age structure is already so young, even if fertility declines today, our population will continue to grow for at least another 10 to 15 years before stabilizing. So this decade is decisive in that context. Furthermore, when we look at the climate change and its stress which we are having in Pakistan, despite the fact that we are the least contributor in greenhouse emission gases, the climate change is no longer a threat. It is a very much reality in front of us. In the last few years, Pakistan has faced catastrophic flood cycles in Punjab river belts, in Sindh's coastal districts, and across northern KP. The floods of 22 alone affected 33 million Pakistanis and pushed millions deeper into the poverty. And then the recent floods have also a kind of another kind of push in the same direction. So when climate shocks collude with the dense population, the impact multiplies many times. More vulnerability, more displaced, and more pressures on the water, land, and cities. So more people means more exposure to risk, more strain on agriculture, more demand on already fragile urban infrastructure. So climate resilience is not possible without serious population management. Government is quite cognizant of this fact, and we are also highlighting time to time that this is the right time because the new financial award is in the discussion. If we are not going to address this perverse incentive that we have created in the distribution of federal funds, then we are less likely to contain this menace in the decades to come. So countries that turn demographics into prosperity did three things. Number one, they lowered the unwanted fertility with voluntary rights-based access to family planning. So families could choose their size and invest more in child. As highlighted by Dr. Mehtab while comparing Pakistan's numbers with the Bangladesh. So number two, invested in girls' education, maternal health and nutrition, and their awareness matters more as compared to anybody else. So then stunting today is lost productivity tomorrow. In that context, again, mothers' health and their education is very much important. The third, aligned education with jobs, digital skills, technical trainings, entrepreneurship, and modern industry needs. So Bangladesh did this, Thailand did this, South Korea built its rise on exactly these fundamentals: a young, healthy, skilled workforce powering productivity and innovation. So demographic dividends are not natural blessings, they are policy achievements. Pakistan can do the same if we choose wisely. What Pakistan must do starting from now, we must act on 4 big priorities. Bring family planning into the primary health care as a standard service, not a standalone fragmented program. Make nutrition an economic policy, not charity. When 40% of the children are stunted, we are losing billions in future productivity. Number 3, transform education and skills, link learning with earnings, less rote learning, more digital skills, technical trainings, entrepreneurship, and apprenticeships. The 4th one, build livable, productive cities planned for climate resilience and growth, with transport, housing, sanitation, and services that scale ahead of population growth. Population is not a single ministry's mandate. It is the foundation of fiscal, urban, labor, climate, and security policy. So that's why the creation of a National Council on Population Growth Management and Sustainable Development, chaired by the Prime Minister himself, and the Federal Steering Committee anchored in the Planning Ministry are essential steps which we have taken very recently. So these are not bureaucratic layers of another decision making. They are the backbone of now implementation of those strategies which have been highlighted and designed in the Udan Pakistan program. The choice before us is that we are not a country without aspiration. Pakistani families want healthier children, girls want education and opportunity, youth want jobs and dignity, communities want security and hope. The demand for smaller, well-nurtured families already exists. Rather, when we look at the district level data, so most of the districts are on a very reasonable range of population growth as compared to the national average. So this shows that the responsibility lies with us to now respond with systems, access, and accountability. So if we choose wisely, then by 2047, Pakistan completes its first 100 years. And by lowering the population growth from existing 2.56% to around 1.7%, we would be able to add less 20 million inhabitants to this country. So Pakistan will have a workforce of innovators and builders if we are going to emphasize equally the education and skill and training programs. So our cities will be the engine of economic productivity, not overcrowded settlements. Our children will have education, nutrition, and opportunity. Our population will stabilize by choice, not by crisis. But if we fail to achieve all these objectives, the same young population will turn into overwhelming pressure, narrowing the options for all future generations. So this conference matters. Population is the hidden variable behind every major challenge. Education, labor, climate, security, inflation, and urbanization. So the next 10 years will define the next 50 years. We are the generation that must decide whether Pakistan's demographics become our strength or our downfall. So let's approach this dialogue today with honesty, ambition, and urgency. Let's ensure that when Pakistan enters its second century, it is a country whose growth is not feared but celebrated. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nadeem, for your very insightful keynote address. and sharing with all the policy reforms that government is taking up, and also highlighting the urgency of taking up these issues. So thank you so much. Now I am really honored to welcome our chief guest, Ms. Samina Hassan, Executive Director, National Institute of Population Studies. We are really grateful to Ms. Samina who accepted our request to be chief guest at a very short notice. Thank you so much, Ms. Samina. Ms. Samina Hassan has joined as Executive Director, National Institute of Population Studies on 9th March 2023. She is one of the senior most BS 2022 officer of Secretariat Group from the 17th CTP, who has served on several important positions, including Additional Secretary, Revenue Division, Senior Joint Secretary, Cabinet Division, Secretary, National Commission on the Status of Women, Senior Joint Secretary or Joint Secretary, Statistics Division, Chief Instructor, Civil Services Academy, Lahore, Deputy Secretary, Ministry of Culture, and Director, Social Protection, Earthquake Reconstruction and Rehabilitation Authority. She has attended a number of training courses, including the 6th Senior Management course in 2009 and the 97th National Management course in 2013. Her individual research paper titled Causes and Remedies of Risk Aversion Among Civil Servants, Is There a Way Out for Civil Servants in Pakistan?, written during 97th NMC, was rated very highly and chosen for publication in the book titled Civil Services of Pakistan, Dilemmas and Challenges 2016, edited by Dr. Sarfraz Khaja. So with this brief introduction, I would like to request Ms. Samina Hassan for her remarks as chief guest. Thank you.
Thank you, Saima, for this elaborate introduction that you have given. Respected President, Population Association of Pakistan, Dr. Faisal, Dr. Nadeem, Vice Chancellor, Paid, and so many seniors and so many people that I see here, Dr. Zeba Sitar, Dr. G.M. Arif, Dr. Tasif, my senior, my mentor, and a person from whom I've learned so much, Dr. Safdar Suhail, sitting at the back, and Dr. Dure Nayab, my own team of NIPS who are here, Dr. Aisha. It's been such a pleasure. It is truly an honor for me to join you today at the annual conference of the Population Association of Pakistan, an event that continues to serve as a leading platform for evidence-based dialogue on some of the most pressing population and development challenges faced by our country. First and foremost, I would like to commend the Population Association of Pakistan for its unwavering commitment to advancing high-quality research, building national capacity, and promoting meaningful collaboration among academia, government institutions, and development partners. Your work provides a crucial foundation for informed decision-making and effective policy development. Now, a word about National Institute of Population Studies, Training, and Research. It is Pakistan's premier national research institution mandated to conduct high-quality research in the field of population, family planning, reproductive health, and development. Over the years, NIPS-TNR has produced nationally and internationally recognized evidence that forms the backbone of policy making in the country. One of our hallmark contributions has been conducting the Pakistan Demographic and Health Survey since 1990. These surveys have provided the most reliable national level indicators on fertility, family planning, maternal and child health, and gender. For more than 3 decades, the PDHS has guided program reforms, donor investments, and policy realignment across sectors. Most recently, NIPS-TNR successfully completed the population projection exercise, a major technical undertaking carried out in close coordination with national and international experts. This exercise reviewed fertility, mortality, and migration trends using the most recent data sources, including the Population and Housing Census, PDHS, PSLM, PMS, and administrative records. For the first time, Pakistan and its provinces now have updated population projections grounded in robust demographic assumptions. These projections will support medium and long-term planning in health, education, labor markets, infrastructure, climate adaptation, and resource allocation. This achievement reflects NIPS TNR's leadership in bringing scientific rigor to Pakistan's demographic planning. Pakistan today stands at a defining moment. With the population exceeding 240 million and continuing to grow, our demographic dynamics have far-reaching implications for health, education, employment, climate resilience, and sustainable development. The choices we make now, guided by evidence, innovation, and collective resolve, will shape the trajectory of generations to come. This year's conference theme is both timely and critical. We must recognize that addressing population challenges is not the responsibility of one sector alone. It requires a coordinated, whole of government and whole of society approach, where population research informs policy, where policies translate into action, and where action leads to measurable improvement in people's life. I am particularly encouraged to see a strong focus on family planning, maternal and reproductive health, gender equality, youth empowerment, data-driven planning. Investment in these areas are not only essential for achieving our national development priorities, but also for realizing the demographic dividend that can drive Pakistan's economic and social progress. Let me also emphasize the importance of quality data. Without reliable data, we cannot identify gaps, monitor progress, or design effective interventions. I appreciate the collaborative efforts of all partners in improving our national data systems, strengthening research institutions, and ensuring that evidence remains at the center of policy dialogue. As we move forward, we must reaffirm our commitments to ensuring that every woman and every family in Pakistan has access to the information, services, and opportunities they need to lead healthy, productive, and dignified lives. No action can achieve sustainable development without empowering its people, especially its women and youth. And it is so important what Dr. Mehtab Karim has said, that we are short of demographers. Demography as a subject is not being taught in the universities. And we need to have that subject back in the universities, that new and younger people are trained in this field. We are short of them. We have very few demographers here, sitting here, right here, but we need more for our future generations and for controlling and managing this population. At the same time, there is some weakness, there is some shortcoming in the implementation mechanism that we have at the provincial level. The policies that we have made are not being implemented, I think, properly at the provinces, and we need that some more dynamic and energetic policies, not only policies, but mechanisms are made so that the population is managed at the level of the provinces and the districts. In the end, I would like to congratulate the organizers, presenters, researchers, and participants who have made this conference possible. I hope that the discussions held here will inspire actionable recommendations, foster new partnerships, and contribute to a stronger, healthier, and more prosperous Pakistan. I wish you all a very successful and productive conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Samina Hassan. Now, to conclude the inaugural session, I would like to request Dr. Fareed Middat, Vice President, Population Association of Pakistan, to present the vote of thanks. Dr. Fareed, please.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर साइमा, आपने बड़ा लंबा चौड़ा तारुफ नहीं कराया. अस्सलाम वालेकुम. Pablo Picasso actually once said that the meaning of life is to find your gift and the purpose of life is to give it away. So, sitting on the platform waiting for my train, I feel obliged to give my gift away. So my thanks are to those young people who are here. Most of them in the back, they should be in the front, but they are in the back. Thank you for coming. Really, I think that some of you will go away and leave this country, but hopefully, a lot of you will stay here, and you should be worried about what's happening. Okay. What I would like to say about what's going on these days, somehow I feel that in the last few months, I would say not years even, the stress on population is not exactly the same as used to be. Like हम लोग used to हो गए हैं. ये जी अब तक सुन कर जी पाकिस्तान जो है ना ऐसी थे सब ये जो महताब साहब ने दिखाए जो हमारी, तो we can stop saying it or change the way we say it, but the fact is this, that it will not never change, that our country has a formidable future. Our country has a formidable future. Pakistan's unchecked population growth is driven by a failed family program, poor education, and extremely weak governance. You may differ from me, but that's probably can debatable. It's actually deepening a socio-economic crisis. The population increase very rapidly in the presence of three things: the mounting debt. This morning we owe 135 billion US dollars to foreign agencies and countries. Climate collapse. The worst country in the world hit by climate. We didn't contribute to the climate problems, but we are actually we are among the top 10. And there was 1 year when we are actually in the climate index, we are the first one. And the political instability. Which of these three is not related with population? Tell me. All of these are actually population-related issues. So today and tomorrow we will try to dig deeper. We'll try to find hope. We'll try to make a resolve. And I would like my younger colleagues to take it away from us. And maybe I can say we failed. We, the Population Association of Pakistan, 26 times, every year we have been meeting, 26 years. बहुत सारे हमारे बाल सफ़ेद हो गए. मतलब मैं जब आया था तो बिल्कुल जवान था. Dr. Hakim Saab bhi. So I think that this is how I would like to say. Young people come forward, take it away from us. I would like to thank all of you to be here. Have a great day. I'll also like to thank everyone who is there, like my colleagues and the PEP, trained people. Dr. Zeba, Simi, all of us, basically. I think we have been saying it every year with the same zeal and the same worry and the same concern. It seems like that, nobody's listening. I don't know why. It seems like हम हर साल एक मरसिया पढ़ते हैं, एक मजलिस करते हैं. तो मैं उसी मुनासिबत से एक शेर पे ख़त्म करूँगा, क्योंकि हमारे पैप की जो कॉन्फ्रेंस है वो हर साल होती है. बच्चे तो अगले बरस हम हैं और ये गम फिर है, जो चल बसे तो ये अपना सलाम आखिर है.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fareed, and you don't need any introduction. So now I would like to request Dr. Mehtab Kareem to present a small token of thanks to our keynote speaker and our chief guest and guest of honor. So I would request Dr. Mehtab Kareem to present the shield to Dr. Nadeem Javed. Thank you so much, sir, for honoring us with your presence. Now I would like to request Dr. Maila to accept the shield on behalf of Dr. Loy Shabane. Now I would like to request Ms. Samina Hassan to please accept your. Thank you so much, Ms. Samina, for honoring us with your presence. And I would request all the EC members and PAP past and present presidents, officials, Simi, Dr. Nosheen, Dr. Nayab, Dr. Zafar Mahmood, Dr. GM Arif, Dr. Zeba, Ayaz Sab, Aisha, Rabia, please come for a group photo with our keynote speaker and the chief guest.